Craig, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your background and how you've come to be at Inty today.
Sure, no, absolutely. So I've been at Inty for the last 5 years. Prior to that, I've spent the last 21 years within the IT industry, both within distribution, vendor, and as a reseller as well. So my background is primarily scalable, high volume business, and in today's market with Inty as a leading cloud distributor, that's exactly what we need.
Right. So Craig, could you tell us a little bit about Inty's background and how Inty has become a leading cloud distributor today?
Sure, absolutely. So Inty's 21 years old, so as a business we're not new, but we class ourselves as operating in our 3rd year of startup.
Yeah.
We initially started as a Microsoft reseller many years ago, and from there became a vendor. So we produced our own hardware. And again, going back 20 years, this was a per user, per month, per service.
Right.
And so the pay-as-you-go model is something that we've grown up with. It's our heritage. Through our connections with Microsoft, we joined a pilot program some 9 years ago to resell Office 365, and to actually help them with code in order for distributors to be able to place orders.
Yeah.
From there, Cascade was born, which is our partner portal, our award-winning partner portal. And Cascade has evolved over time to become, one of the leading platforms for our partners to provision and manage their services. Today, we're a pure cloud distributor, so we've evolved from that reseller vendor heritage that we had into where we are today.
So Craig, could you tell me about Inty's vendors and who you've partnered up with?
Sure, absolutely. So we have 3 what we call pillar vendors, Microsoft, Symantec and Acronis. Microsoft are there, they lead our vendor drive in email and applications. Whilst there are others in the market, it's recognised and is the market leader. In terms of for us as being cloud-based, security is extremely strong. Symantec were chosen for their trust. Certainly one of the most recognisable brands and one of the most trusted brands in the marketplace as well. And in terms of their scale and size, they check over 1/3 of the world's email every single day from an endpoint protection. And then backup. There is this misconception that because everything's based in the cloud, you don't need to back up. Far from it. Far from it. In fact, you need to back up in the cloud as much as you do if it's on-prem. And so Acronis, again being one of the leading backup vendors, certainly on-prem, 3.5 years ago moved into the cloud space. They fully get cloud hierarchy and distribution from their background. So again, a perfect fit. And being able to offer those back out to our partners, our partners have the comfort and security that we've partnered with the best of breed in terms of the partners that we have. We have a group of partners that complement that as well, from a Sonyan to a Veritas, an Exclaimer, a BitType, and again, all leading providers in their own field.
Right, okay. Well, I mean, Alchemy's experience of, some of those vendors has been really quite amazing. I mean, especially with Acronis. We've taken Acronis from Inty for quite a while now. And all of our customers are backed up with, the Acronis products. So, that would be, Office 365 backup products, and the cloud backup products as well. So, we back up the whole of our hosted desktop estate, as well as a lot of on-prem hybrid type infrastructures that we manage. And whereas the products that we've had in the past, I have to say, have been somewhat unreliable. With certainly the Acronis backup system, it has been one of the best investments I think we've ever made. For our customers, it's so important that they have the best possible product. And I have to say, being slightly agnostic in that field, Acronis makes something that's second to none. I haven't come across anything that's as good as that product. It's incredibly comprehensive, reliable, it's quick, and we get a great deal of support from Acronis directly as well as through Inty. So it's been for us it's been a really good partnership.
Sure, and that's encouraging to hear, because we picked those vendors and the vendors that we have as well, not just because of their product, but because of their product, because of their support, because of the price point. Yeah. One of the things and feedback that we have on Acronis as well is it's the speed of recovery. Yeah. That is extremely quick, and that's what our partners' customers need. Yeah. You know, they need the document back, they need the database back, they need the single email back. Yeah. And the Acronis system will allow them to, as you know, to dig down to that level and then retrieve it very quickly. Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that we're looking for, you know, in the future is we've got this huge estate of, we've got 900 odd servers, virtual machines that we back up overnight. And a number of these clients want something that's next step. Yeah. So what they'd like to do is they'd like to have the facility of DR. Yeah. So given that we've already got this infrastructure that's being backed up, it's you know, it's quite straightforward in many ways to add DR to something that we're already backing up. So you know, Acronis do that, and you know, I think it's something that we will be looking to pursue in the not too distant future. And again, simplicity for you, because you want simplicity and ease of deployment out to your customer base, and the fact that Acronis can do the DR as well as the backup, and then complemented with the Symantec that work extremely closely from a vendor relationship with the backup and DR system, obviously complemented by 365. Yeah. And all of these vendors complement each other, but not just that. The way that we work with them, we'll have all three of them together. Right. So hopefully that then filters back down to you as the partner and down to your customers as well. So Craig, I gather you've got an office in the United States. Can you tell me a little bit about that, please? Absolutely. We have a couple of offices in the US. So we've been in Redmond for some time. We're close to the Microsoft campus. Obviously Microsoft are a leading partner of ours. And so we're there, and we try to be there every sort of 5 or 6 weeks as well. I certainly do. Yeah. And we are just opening a second office in Nebraska, in the Midwest. It's a choice that people look at and ask why, but there's a number of reasons. I guess location. You know, it's great for a time zone. We could pick up both the West Coast and the East Coast time zone as well. In terms of the Midwest workforce, there's some great areas that we can tap into. Yeah. People and culture are a big part of what we do. You know, they're a strong USP. In fact, if you were to ask me to prioritise, you know, my shareholder or partners or staff, the number one priority is staff. Yeah. Any decision that is made, anything that's considered, the first thing that we would consider is the impact on the staff. And I had this conversation with my shareholder not that long ago actually, and I said, you know, I need to tell you that you are not number one priority in my life. And in fact, not number two. You know, staff are number one. Yeah. And you know, it won't always be that we make a decision that pleases the staff, but it's certainly an area that we'll consider, because building a happy team and building a cohesive team where people are almost enthused and excited to come to work is important, because from there that will bleed into creating and having a happy customer base. Yeah. And customers like yourself. And so customers like yourself come second, which is a little bit abnormal to the customers always first. No, here the customer is second, because we have a very strong team and a very happy team that will filter through to you in our customer base. From there, our happy customer base will filter through into you know, sort of increased profits and margins for our shareholders. So shareholder comes third, customer second, and employees first. But yeah, we're excited to be opening our second office in the US. Okay. And we're doing things a little bit differently as well. We're giving the employees the opportunity to go there, experience the US. We're sending them on a 5 or 6 week taster where they can go experience US life and the slightly different way of doing things. And then from there we'll have a full-time team come October this year. Okay. So how many staff, Craig, have you got in the UK, and how many are US based at the moment? So total as a business now, we're sub 100 people across the entire group. We have about 12 to 15 focusing on our US business, and we expect that to double in size over the next 18 months. As a business, we don't take staff growth in linear growth with our partners. In fact, we use technology not to replace people, but to enhance what they do. Some examples of that you'll see coming out very soon, and those that are already here. So partner insights, which I know that Alchemy are a strong user of.
Yeah.
This is actually taking the data that we collect from you as a partner, from your customers, understanding what services they do and don't use, and passing that information back to you in real time, so that you can enhance and grab those opportunities that you're missing.
Yeah.
But on top of that, we're launching things like the Inty bot. This is going to use AI and machine learning. So rather than you come in and maybe speak to your cloud sales specialist, you can actually interact with the bot. Okay. Which will save you time and save time of people, whereas the cloud sales specialist can then work with you on go-to-market strategies and more strategic elements, okay, to help you go with your customer base as well.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you.
Pleasure.